What's up, guys? One Low Magma here with Miami Auto Brothers. Today's show, we got our parts all from rockauto.com. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to check out the channel, all the other videos. We appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Let's get into this. Today, we're going to be replacing the rotors and the pads. The pads, we're bumping up to the premium Botch pads on this vehicle, and we're also going to be replacing these stocks with the power stop rotors. They're just a much higher quality and make sure we don't have any problems with drivability. The Botch is also amazing. It comes with all its items, all the hardware needed to do the job. I'm going to do the entire job on the ground with a little bit of rain as a regular scenario. I'm going to use the same floor jack for the vehicle so I can lift the vehicle. And first things first is you want to make sure you take your jack, your tools, and your wheel lock off. In case your vehicle has a wheel lock, you're going to find your wheel lock key. And I'm going to use all the factory tools for the car to lift it up and to take the wheel off. You want to take everything out, and you want to go ahead and loosen your bolts first. First thing you want to do is lightly loosen to make sure that they're all loose before you even lift the car. Always take the wheel lock off first. Always install the wheel lock last. That way you avoid breaking it. At this point, you take your flat tire off, replace it back with your spare, and follow everything back in reverse. So here's your up close of your brake caliper and brake rotors. The brake pads are being squeezed inside. What we want to do is get to all of these. We're going to replace the rotor. If you have any vibration when you hit your brakes, that's going to be that your rotor is warped. This one has signs of heat. You can see the heat spots across the face of the rotor. You can also feel the ridges on it. That's already a rotor that's not going to be any good. You can mill it down if you're trying to be cost effective, but that may not get rid of the vibration. Take one good crack at it with a nice big wrench. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier. Just like that. Now it's loose from its caliper, but it's going to be tight on there because it's been squeezing your brake pads the whole time. My best trick for this is grab it by the back and pull forward. Give it a little squeeze forward and then a little jiggle. That loosens the caliper just enough to squeeze it past the pads, and it'll come right out. Now with your caliper out, you gain access to your pads, and we can gain access to the caliper bracket. My trick to pry this back, they sell all sorts of tools to open this space. This is my tool. We call her Big Bertha in the shop. And just simply take it, squeeze. Just squeeze it closed. Okay, we got our caliper hung. With the calipers loose, you can remove the brake pads if you wanted to at this point. And these have these little retainers. Simply just pull away. This kind of holds the pads together. Your car may or may not have it. This Lexus does. Yeah, this car needed brakes. Some vehicles, the rotor will just fall off at this point. Some vehicles may have a screw that you need to remove. Toyota and Lexus uses an opening for a bolt, which is why I got this. Couple squeezes, there, and that's it. You don't need it for reinstall, you just need it to remove it. When you are working with brand new rotors, you may find them with a bit of a greasy substance on. Do not install them with that stuff. That's to protect the metal from oxidation while it sits in the warehouse. So you want to make sure you get yourself a cheap can of brake clean. Rinse it right off. Even though it's raining, this Miami rain ain't gonna take that grease off of it. Now the rotor's ready for install. All right, with all brakes clean, we cleaned up the caliper, we cleaned up the caliper bracket, we cleaned up the rotor. Now we're gonna be installing all our new parts. Now's the time to change out this hardware. You always want to change this stuff out, especially if your kit comes with everything you need, because again, this is all wearable parts. This could be the reason why you're having a noise, a squeaking, or a vibration. These things are impossible to get out of here. So luckily, thanks to my friends at Garage Gurus, I got my little nifty flathead, and we're just gonna come in and pop them out. They are all the same part. They are all four identical, so you don't have to worry about how they go in, because once you put them in, there's only one way it's going to go in, with this fat tab sticking out. That's all you have to know. They're all four sides have the tab sticking out. If you buy the premium stuff that comes with the lubricant, make sure you're putting your lubricant on all four of these guys, where the pad's going to slip in and out. Again, that prevents any kind of squeaking or anything, or binding of the pads in this caliper bracket. This one came with it. If it doesn't, and you bought something different, your local auto parts store also sells this near the cash register. This will cost you $1, and it's basically the same thing. It's just your brake lubricant, and you don't want to put it on the brake itself. You're going to put it only on the moving parts where the pad touches the metal. Metal touching this only. The pad and the rotor stay nice and clean. Do not put your lubricant on the rotor and the pads. People have done it. It's not a good outcome. We got our rotor back on, nice and flat. We have our caliper bracket back on with all new hardware greased up. 17 millimeters are tightened down. We have our caliper cleaned and squeezed back. Now we're gonna go ahead and put in our brake pads. All right, a little bit of squeezing and coercion. Now the brake pads are on the brake discs. Put the clips back in. And now we get our brake caliper back. That's it. Now we tighten the caliper to the bracket with the 214s. Now we got our caliper tightened with the 14 millimeters to the caliper bracket. Rotors installed. And you're done. The only other thing you want to do is get in the car and slowly press the brake pedal down, so that helps squeeze the calipers and get all the fluid back into the caliper, and it sets the pistons into the caliper so that when you go to brake for the first time, you actually have brakes. But other than that, you're done. Put your wheel back on and you're ready to roll. Make sure to watch and subscribe. We got a lot more Honda, Ford, and Lexus videos coming soon. Please support, please comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Find me on Instagram and TikTok, One Low Magma. Thank you guys.